Hello, hello, Facebook community, Amplified Impact. Welcome back. Thank you for tuning in to a weekly training episode download from what the heck is going on in my life with my clients, with my community, with my biz besties. Just the real truth about being a human and running a business, or running a business and being a human. There's been a few common threads that have been coming up. Before we dive into the good stuff, if you're listening here in the Facebook group community, be sure to say hi. Let me know that you're tuning in. If you're listening on the podcast, it would mean the world to me to help us to make bigger waves in the world for you to go to Apple, leave us a 5-star review if this is landing. It's just an invitation. As a projector, human design, if that's your thing, you're into that. It's an invitation only. And if you love Instagram and you love this episode, screenshot it, share it with your community, tag a biz bestie to come and dive in. The biggest thing that I see coming up right now is like, what should I be doing if I want to enroll more people into my program? What should I be doing if I want to grow my business? What should I be doing? You shouldn't be doing anything. There's no shoulds. Like, of course, we have to take action. Of course, we have to implement a strategy. But we don't want to be doing things to be doing them. We don't want to do things to get results. We want to do things because we're passionate about showing up, about serving, about doing the inner work that it takes. And that starts with alignment and embodiment. Something that I was going to do was do a summit. And one of my biz besties is like, I don't do summits because I don't listen to them. And I was like, oh, right. I was only going to do a summit because it was a way that you can grow your audience. And I'm like, oh yeah, I want to get in front of other people's audiences. And I'm like, wait a minute, but I don't listen to summits. I don't have time for that. I'm a mom. I'm a business owner. And that's when she checked me and she reminded me, it's like, when you implement a strategy, it's because it's a strategy that you use. Do you go to master classes? Do you listen to podcasts? When you start to ask yourself these questions, you really begin to align to what it is that you believe in and what it is that you're taking action in. I listen to podcasts because I can listen to them in my ears while I'm riding my bicycle and I'm with Amani. I listen to podcasts because I can lay in bed. I never sign up for a summit. Why was I going to do a summit? Oh, because it was this idea to grow my audience. It was like, oh, reality check. No, I'm not going to do a summit. Actually, I watch reels. I watch reels a lot. They're funny. My sister always sends them to me. My best friends always send them to me. I do reels religiously because I engage in reels. It's something that I'm doing. I do podcasting because it's something that I do. I do Facebook groups because it's something that I do. So what should you be doing? You should be asking yourself, what am I doing? What am I doing? How am I engaging with the world online? What am I listening to? How am I tuning in? And when you look at what it is that you're doing, that's what you're passionate about, so you can implement that. And now that doesn't mean that if you're not passionate about a summit, that you can't do a summit. And what I mean about that is like, you're not going to sign up and go to a summit, but like you would love to host a summit because you want to throw a big party online. Totally cool. But when we look at why it is we're doing something, we want to ask ourselves, is it something that's going to be fun? That doesn't mean that you're going to love every area of your business, because there's parts and pieces that we don't love. I love creating content. I love showing up on social media. I love doing stories. but I don't love the back end, putting in emails together and making sure that they go out at the right time and automating my business. That stuff's not so fun. But I see the benefit, especially being a mother. I don't like to go and look at all my money stuff every single week, but I have to. So just because it's not fun doesn't mean you don't have to do it. But what I'm saying is, when you're asking yourself, what should I be doing? There's nothing that you should be doing other than asking yourself, what can you do consistently and enjoy over a long period of time? If your focus is growing your business and making more sales and enrolling more clients and having a bigger impact, it's consistency over a long period of time, whether that's getting a bigger butt, eating healthier, quitting smoking, attracting your soulmate person. It's consistently showing up again and again and again. This really is, I'm just coming on here today and I'm riffing. And I'm riffing so hard because I'm just realizing that the way in which we run our business and what we start to do as someone that desires more freedom and flexibility and like joy is we bring those old patterns with us of like shoulding ourselves and having to do and looking for the quick fixes and the biggest wins and like the easiest way. But it's not easy in a sense of like staying consistent and showing up and doing it all over a long period of time. Ask someone to show up for 7 days, that's easy. Ask someone to show up for 30 days, that gets a little bit harder. Ask someone to show up for their lifetime. Well, instant gratification. Instant gratification. Right now, I want to see the results right now. But if you plant a garden, you can't see the results right now. You have to plant the seed and then it has to sprout and then it has to grow and you have to water and you have to tend to it and you have to pick the weeds and you have to give it time. And all of the process isn't always fun in planting a garden, right? It's like to plant it, to water. Okay, now I want to eat it. But there's minute things that you have to do consistently until the plant, the fruit, the veggie is ready. So what if we looked at our business over the long life journey like we do a garden bed? And if you don't love parts of the gardening, hire out. Have someone else do those things, right? Like I know like growing up, we had to pull the weeds as a punishment and I hate pulling weeds. Actually, it's really meditative now. But you can hire out those things like the automated stuff. You don't have to do the social media. Not everything in your business do you have to do. You can hire a bookkeeper. You can hire an accountant. When you look at what you should be doing, is you should be letting yourself remember why you started doing this in the first place, to be free, to love what you do, to love who you are as you do it, to enjoy the process and the journey. And I know it's so cliche and it's like, no, I want results now. Hi, my name's Amber. I'm an Aries. Nice to meet you. And so do I. And when we look at the garden, it's a process, it's unfolding. And there are things that you have to do to grow your garden. But there's so many different ways to grow food, indoors, outdoors, with lights, without lights, organic food, chemical food, with spray, without spray. You get to choose. There isn't one way. Oh, I want to cry right now. And there's no right way. Some people believe in spraying the food for more crops. Some people believe in filtered water. Some people believe not to grow the same crop in the same place again and again. Some people believe that you should grow the same crop again and again. Should I do passive in my business, where I'm just like selling the same course again and again and again? Or should I do live, where I'm teaching different programs again and again and again? Always new, always new, always new. It depends on who you are. It depends on what you believe. And that's why some people hire you and some people hire her, him, them. It's because of who you are. So the more that you embody who you are and what you believe and what lights you up, and you let go of the freaking shoulds and you witness when your human's coming, the more magnetic you become. And I was just talking to one of my favorite clients, and she's like, I was attracted to you because you were embodying your work. And I don't know, like, if that's something that you're doing intentionally. And it's like, of course, because embodiment is such a huge piece for me, especially in amplified impact in my leadership mastermind. Because who you become is who you attract. You become a magnet. When you start to use your program name again and again, amplify your impact, how can we make a bigger difference? I'm always like, hey, can you help me make a bigger ripple in the world? Tell someone about my work. Share this podcast. Tag me when you share a post. Like, help me make the ripple. I talk about this again and again and again. And that's because that's who I am. I believe a good coach, a teacher, a healer is one who is impacted by her own life. And she's not perfect. And it's so hard because, me, I'm not a perfect mom. I'm not a perfect wife. I'm not a perfect anything. And when I'm not, I feel like, oh, I've let my people down. Then I'm like, no, you just get to be better than you were yesterday. Or when I find myself shoulding myself, I'm like, wait, you preach this. You say don't should, and there you are. And I'm like, wait, you don't have to do that, remember? You created this business for freedom. You created this life for freedom. And so it's like, how can we have fun? How can we remember our why? How can we stay embodied and in alignment with what we truly believe as the witness to the human that always comes back? You are never going to be perfect. You're never not going to make mistakes. And you're going to consistently be witnessing when she comes back, the pressure, the shoulds, the have tos, the human. Hi, nice to meet you. Thank you for being here and showing me that there's always more work to do. And that I shouldn't be doing anything but listening to my heart and letting my heart guide me and letting my heart lead me. And where the heart leads and the emotions align, you're the embodied human, the embodied mentor. And the stars will align for more impact, more sales, more clients. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow. But the garden is going to bloom. It is going to happen. So what would it feel like in your body if you just knew that everything that you're planting and watering from an aligned and embodied place, where you witness the human, you ditch the shoulds, you ditch the perfectionism, you ditch not wanting to have the self-doubt, but you just fully embody the ever-evolving practice of being, what would happen? How would you feel? Who would you attract? Who would you become? I get excited. I get excited just thinking about it. So post this podcast. Ask yourself, where are you shoulding? Where are you doing from an unaligned place? And where could you realign to what really matters? So that everything you're doing is from a place of embodiment, alignment, truth, desire. Not out of a quick fix to get instant results, but to stay consistent. Consistency is in every day. Consistency is over the span of your life, of being a coach, of being a mentor, of being a freaking human. That's my huge riff for today. I love you, and I'll talk to you on the next episode.